Good morning from Fast Company. Here's our daily look into what's driving today's creative business leaders. Interviewing for jobs can be a lengthy process. Multiple rounds, slow scheduling, recruiters ghosting. In fact, in one study, 52% of companies stated that the interview process lasts 4 to 6 weeks. And other survey data reveals hiring decisions are taking longer, which means employers are taking their time when choosing candidates. So if you've been invited back for several rounds of interviews, it can be frustrating, but it also likely suggests you're among the top applicants. But given how long it takes and how high-stakes interviewing feels nowadays, it can be easy to feel more pressure the deeper you get into the process. You likely won't ever get told if you're one of the final two. But what you can do is prioritize distinguishing yourself from your competition to show the hiring manager why you're the best one for the role. Practice humility. Let the hiring manager see your true personality. Being open and humble in responses is something I value in most candidates, says Jenny Amalfi, president of the Americas at AirSwift, a Houston-based full-service employment agency. While being technically great is always important, the personal side of a candidate often outweighs their technical ability in the interview process. She notes that companies seek hires who are strong collaborators. Keep that front in mind, even as you navigate late-stage interviews. Be authentic. A person being true to themselves and comfortable in their own skin is refreshing and contagious, says Amalfi. It shows stability and is very attractive, she stated. Lots of candidates possess great technical skills, but it's the candidate who can provide examples of their emotional intelligence in the workplace that often receive the job offer. Be inquisitive. Amalfi appreciates candidates that ask her questions. If I lead an interview and the candidate does not have questions prepared, it's a sign to me that they may just be an order taker, not someone who wants to challenge the status quo, she explains. I prefer to hire individuals who are eager to learn and ask questions. That's how we get better. If you're down to the final interview stage, have insightful questions prepared that demonstrates you're ready to take on the job. It could be what tips the scales. Present yourself as coachable. As the interview process is winding down, being vulnerable and willing to learn could work in your favor. Sharing a moment when you have learned a lesson or learned the hard way is very important, explains Amalfi. It shows that you're coachable and understand the importance of receiving feedback. If you're heading into an interview, be prepared to share a moment when you learned a valuable lesson during a project at work, she notes. Someone who understands the importance of feedback is a valuable asset at any company and can set you apart. Demonstrate a passion to join the organization. To edge out competition, show real interest in the company, including their product, market, competition, and customers, suggests Jenny Shires, the UK-based Chief People Officer at Unily, an employee experience platform which is headquartered in New York. When looking at two candidates who have the same qualifications and experience, she shares that the one who shows genuine enthusiasm for the company is key. A candidate showing surface-level interest, such as basic knowledge of the product, is not going to cut it, explains Shires. Also, she adds, it never hurts to show interest in the interviewer and their own role and career path. Tout your competency. If you've reached the final stages, it's likely that your skills and competency levels have already been approved. What you now need to do is show the potential impact you can have, and how this impact can be more relevant to the company than the other candidates, says Shires. How have you previously solved challenges, delivered outstanding results? How could this relate to the company you're interviewing for? Grounding these examples in data and business value is key, outlines Shires. Results are what employers care about, so the candidate best able to connect their previous experience to future value is more likely to be successful. Stay professional. Shires with Unily says to remember recruiters are likely working on several roles at any one time, with multiple candidates per role. Having said that, it's good to show that you're interested, and it's fine to touch base provided you're respectful of others' time, she notes. I look for candidates who follow up and aren't afraid to ask for feedback, Amalfi with AirSwift says. Choose your references carefully. References are very important, and if the decision is between two top candidates, they could mean even more. Yes, hiring managers typically collect references after interviewing and progressing to offer, says Amalfi. When selecting references, it's important to get folks that have managed you previously as well as those that have worked with you, she continues. It shows different vantage points to reference.
That's all today from Fast Company. Talk to you tomorrow.
SpokenLayer.